black crust on your driveway is not what your contractor called it. It is not weathering. It is not the accumulated result of tire rubber, automotive fluids, and atmospheric particulate matter settling on the surface over years of normal use, which is the explanation that most homeowners accept because it sounds plausible and nobody offers them an alternative. The black crust is a living biological system. It is a stratified community of cyanobacteria, green algae, and filamentous fungi that has established itself on the surface of your concrete, developed a self-sustaining moisture retention mechanism, and is currently engaged in the active chemical dissolution of the calcium compounds that give your concrete surface its hardness and its resistance to freeze-thaw damage. Every driveway sealer in the hardware store coats over this system without disturbing it. The sealer does not kill the organisms. The sealer seals moisture into the substrate beneath the biological layer, creates an anaerobic environment that certain members of the biological community find preferable to surface conditions, and provides an additional organic polymer layer that the fungal component of the colony will eventually begin breaking down as a carbon source. You are not sealing your driveway against biological attack. You are sealing the biological attack against your driveway. I am Dr. Cole Ward, 38 years as a licensed structural engineer. Concrete condition assessment was a recurring component of residential and commercial property review throughout my career, and the biological deterioration of exterior concrete surfaces is among the most underrepresented failure mechanisms in residential maintenance literature. The American Concrete Institute Manual on Condition Surveys of Concrete and Service, ACI 201-1R, includes a section on biological attack as a recognized deterioration mechanism. The Cement and Concrete Research Journal published a review of microbiologically influenced corrosion of concrete in 2005 that documented the specific chemical interactions between concrete substrate compounds and biological metabolic byproducts. The Journal of Materials in Civil Engineering published research in 2006 on biological crust formation and concrete deterioration mechanisms and prevention. This is not fringe science. It is documented in the primary technical literature of the concrete engineering profession. It simply does not appear in the product literature of the concrete replacement industry, because the concrete replacement industry has no interest in a maintenance protocol that eliminates the biological deterioration that produces its replacement revenue. The biological crust that forms on exterior concrete surfaces develops in a predictable sequence that begins within the first year of installation in climates with adequate moisture. The initial colonizers are single-celled cyanobacteria, photosynthetic prokaryotes that require only moisture, light carbon dioxide, and trace minerals from the concrete surface to establish the founding colony. Gloecapsa magma and related Crucochelys species are among the primary initial colonizers on concrete, the same organisms that colonize asphalt shingles and stucco. They adhere to the rough concrete surface texture using polysaccharide adhesive compounds and begin photosynthesizing and reproducing within the first wet season. As the cyanobacterial colony establishes, it creates a modified microenvironment at the concrete surface, increased organic matter from cellular debris, altered pH from metabolic acids, increased moisture retention from the polysaccharide matrix of the colony. This modified environment is favorable for secondary colonizers, green algae of the chlorophyta division, which add additional photosynthetic biomass, and filamentous fungi, which begin breaking down the organic material in the developing colony and penetrating the concrete surface with hyphae that enter the pore network and extend the biological community into the substrate. The Biofilm journal documented this colonization sequence on concrete surfaces in 2008, confirming the succession pattern and the timeline of each colonization stage. By year 3 to 5 of this process, you have a mature stratified biological crust on your driveway that is millimeters thick at the surface, has fungal hyphae penetrating the concrete pore structure to depths of several millimeters below the surface, and is maintaining a persistent moisture film at the concrete interface regardless of ambient humidity conditions through the water retention capacity of the polysaccharide matrix. The damage mechanism has two distinct components that operate simultaneously and reinforce each other. The first is freeze-thaw acceleration. Concrete without biological crust absorbs moisture during rain events and progressively dries between rain events as capillary action draws the moisture outward and evaporation removes it from the surface. The biological crust interrupts this drying process. The polysaccharide matrix of the colony retains water against the concrete surface continuously, maintaining elevated moisture content in the near-surface concrete pore structure through dry periods that would otherwise allow the concrete to desiccate. In climates that experience freezing temperatures, this means that the concrete beneath the biological crust undergoes a greater number of freeze-thaw cycles at higher moisture content than adjacent bare concrete under identical weather conditions. Concrete at higher moisture content undergoes proportionally more expansion during freezing. The Federal Highway Administration Concrete Pavement Preservation Guide documents that moisture content at time of freezing is the primary determinant of freeze-thaw damage severity in concrete pavement surfaces. The biological crust maximizes that moisture content through every cold weather season. The second damage component is chemical dissolution. The metabolic byproducts of the biological community in the crust include organic acids, carbonic acid from photosynthetic and respiratory metabolism, oxalic acid from fungal metabolic pathways, and various short-chain organic acids produced by bacterial decomposition of cellular debris within the colony. These acids react with the calcium hydroxide and calcium carbonate compounds in the concrete matrix. The reaction products, calcium oxalate, calcium carbonate in soluble form, and calcium silicate breakdown products, are more soluble than the original cement hydration compounds and are progressively removed from the concrete matrix by rainfall and moisture cycling. This process is called calcium leaching, and it has been documented in concrete deterioration literature since the early 20th century in the context of industrial concrete exposed to acidic environments. The biological crust creates a persistent acidic microenvironment at the concrete surface that produces the same calcium leaching through biological rather than industrial mechanisms. The Journal of Materials and Civil Engineering 2006 study on biological crust and concrete deterioration quantified calcium leaching rates in concrete with and without established biological crust and found that crust-affected concrete showed calcium depletion at the surface layer at rates 2 to 4 times higher than biologically clean concrete under identical rainfall and temperature conditions. The surface of crust-covered concrete is losing its structural binders at 2 to 4 times the rate of clean concrete. The concrete that feels soft and gritty underfoot in the areas of heaviest biological growth is not old concrete. It is depleted concrete from which the calcium compounds that give it hardness and cohesion have been progressively dissolved by biological acid production. Copper sulfate is a water-soluble salt of copper that has been used as a broad-spectrum algaecide and fungicide in agricultural and aquatic applications since the 19th century. The Journal of Applied Phycology published research in 2005 documenting copper ion toxicity to cyanobacteria and chlorophyta, the two primary photosynthetic components of concrete biological crust, at copper concentrations achievable with dilute copper sulfate solution. The mechanism is oligodynamic toxicity, the same mechanism by which zinc protects roofing surfaces from biological colonization. Copper ions at very low concentrations interfere with the enzymatic processes of photosynthetic cells, disrupting electron transport in the photosynthetic reaction centers and inhibiting the metabolic functions required for cellular reproduction. The copper ion concentration required to achieve complete growth inhibition of cyanobacteria and green algae is orders of magnitude below the concentration that is toxic to higher organisms. This selectivity is why copper sulfate has been used as an algaecide in drinking water reservoirs and fish ponds. It eliminates photosynthetic microorganisms at concentrations that are safe for fish, mammals, and the broader ecosystem. Applied to concrete biological crust at concentrations achievable with a standard dilution of agricultural copper sulfate, it eliminates the photosynthetic foundation of the biological community. Without the cyanobacteria and algae maintaining the surface moisture environment and producing the organic compounds that support the fungal component, the complete biological community collapses. The copper sulfate treatment addresses the living colony. The sodium silicate treatment that follows addresses the substrate conditions that allow recolonization. We discussed sodium silicate penetrating densifier in detail in the video on concrete crack treatment. The same chemistry applies here. Sodium silicate solution penetrates the concrete pore network by capillary action, reacts with calcium hydroxide in the cured concrete matrix to produce calcium silicate hydrate, the same crystalline compound that gives concrete its structural strength and fills the pore network from the inside. The treated concrete is measurably less porous, measurably less capable of maintaining the surface moisture film that biological colonization requires, and measurably harder at the surface layer due to the additional crystalline material filling the near-surface pore structure. The Journal of Materials in Civil Engineering 2002 study on sodium silicate effects on concrete porosity documented porosity reduction of 20 to 35% and surface hardness improvement of 15 to 25% in treated specimens. A driveway treated with sodium silicate after biological crust elimination does not provide the moisture environment the initial cyanobacterial colonizers require. The founding colony cannot establish. The succession sequence that produces the mature biological crust never begins. The application sequence for the complete two-step treatment is as follows. For the copper sulfate treatment, dissolve copper sulfate crystals in water at a concentration of approximately 2% by weight, roughly 2 tablespoons per liter of water. The solution will be a clear, bright blue, applied to the biological crust surface using a pump garden sprayer, wetting the entire affected area thoroughly. The solution will visibly react with the biological colony. You will observe color changes in the crust material from black-green toward brown-gray as the photosynthetic pigments are destroyed by copper toxicity. Allow the solution to remain on the surface for 20 to 30 minutes. For heavier established crust, a second application after the first is dried will improve penetration into the deeper layers of the colony. Rinse the surface thoroughly with clean water, directing the rinse water away from storm drains and waterways. Copper sulfate solution at treatment concentration, while safe for incidental contact with soil, should not be concentrated in aquatic environments. Allow the surface to dry completely for a minimum of 48 to 72 hours. Dead biological material on the surface will dry to a gray-brown residue that can be swept or blown away with a leaf blower, before proceeding to the sodium silicate application. For the sodium silicate treatment, dilute the solution to approximately 15% concentration if using a concentrated industrial product, or use a pre-diluted concrete densifier product containing sodium silicate as the active compound. Apply generously to the clean, dry concrete surface using a roller or low-pressure sprayer. The concrete will absorb the solution and appear darker while wet. Apply a second coat within 20 minutes of the first, before the first coat has fully dried. Allow to cure for 24 hours before foot traffic and 72 hours before vehicle traffic. Remove any white crystalline surface residue that forms during curing with a damp cloth or mop before it fully hardens. This is excess silicate that did not penetrate and reacted with atmospheric carbon dioxide, as discussed in the concrete crack treatment video. The combined cost of copper sulfate and sodium silicate for a standard 2-car driveway of approximately 600 square feet is $10 to $20 in materials. The concrete replacement cost for the same driveway is $8,000 to $15,000 installed. The concrete contractor who assesses your darkened surface softened driveway will use several terms. Deteriorated surface, spalled aggregate, carbonation, weathering, all of these are real concrete deterioration mechanisms. None of them is the correct diagnosis for the specific condition you have, which is biologically accelerated calcium leaching combined with elevated freeze-thaw cycling from crust-mediated moisture retention. He will not probe the surface to determine whether the softening is biological or structural. He will not test the calcium content of the surface layer. He will not ask whether you have ever treated the biological crust on the surface, because the answer to that question leads to a $15 treatment rather than an $8,000 replacement. He will tell you that the concrete has reached end of life. Concrete does reach end of life. Concrete under active biological attack reaches it 8 to 15 years earlier than structurally identical concrete that was treated to eliminate the biological load. The difference between those two timelines is the biological crust. The biological crust has a $3 interruption. The contractor standing on your driveway has known about that interruption since he got his license. The ACI documented it in 2001. The Journal of Materials in Civil Engineering quantified it in 2006. It has never appeared in a residential concrete maintenance recommendation produced by anyone with a financial interest in concrete replacement revenue. The living crust on your driveway has been accelerating its deterioration since year 1 or 2 of its existence. The black discoloration you have been calling weathering is the visible surface evidence of a biological community that is 2 to 4 times more effective at leaching calcium from your concrete than exposure to rain and temperature cycling alone. It has a name. The name is biofilm. Biofilm has a $3 interruption. The contractor who called it weathering and quoted you $9,400 was counting on you never learning the difference. Share this with someone whose driveway just got a replacement quote. Subscribe if you want to know which other exterior surface of your property is hosting the same biological community on the same schedule toward the same replacement invoice that the same industry has never once included in a maintenance